So I wanted to make a video on how I lost the weight. Well, the previous video that I had done, take all the food that I talked about and throw them out the window. Okay, so when they ran out, I didn't buy any more. I decided that if I was going to lose the weight, I needed to get rid of it. As long as it wasn't in the house, I wasn't going to eat it. And I've struggled with other diets, and I've tried Slim Fast even, works great, right? Well, but you're starving and you have a migraine and you're shitty to yourself and your kids, your family, because you're so cranky by the time it's ready for dinner. You just can't get your dinner down fast enough. That's the way I felt. It was horrible feeling is to be, hungry all day, and I knew I didn't want to do that, and I knew I didn't want to try putting chemicals and stuff like that down my throat. I knew I didn't want to buy anything that I'd have to spend my money on. And I thought, I don't want the surgery, because if they can do it and they had the surgery, maybe I could do it and not have the surgery. So I decided, I knew that I needed to just eat less. Well, so with the journey through YouTube, I started to buy fruits, veggies, and I like to buy a lot of rice. One of my favorite foods is stir fry. I've always loved it, always have made it, but I needed to make it now and taste just as good, but be a heck of a lot more better for me. And actually, I found that really easy. A lot of people ask me after I lost 100 pounds that, how did you do it? Oh, it must have been so hard. And I'm like, no, it didn't. It's easy. Well, I still only get, a certain amount of food stamps. But how was I going to make that better and get me and my family healthier? Well, from watching a lot of videos, as my friends know, I can't read very well, and I can't spell very well, and sometimes can't even talk well. But one of the things I did know was that organic was so good for me, but knew with a budget of very little food stamps that there was no way that I was going to be able to afford it. So one of the things that I did find out was about GMOs. But I got rid of all the processed food. I'm still eating the GMO stuff, and I feel absolutely wonderful now that things have changed. One of the things being was trying to choke down food. Anything that I eat, I had to eat a lot of Tums, a lot of antacids, and Pepto even. I had to have it in my house, like Vino. I had to have all that stuff in my house in order to eat. And when I actually started juicing and using my NutriBullet. Well, the NutriBullet came first, but when I first started, I actually tried to jam-pack like all this food in. Well, but I had a hard time getting it down. There were so many different vegetables added in, kale being one of them. Honestly, I don't really like kale. Still haven't tried it cooked. I have been meaning to actually try that. But I do buy some stuff that is organic if I can. There's a lot of things that are just so much better for you to just buy the organic, like seeds and stuff. I use little drops of to flavor some of my shakes. But one thing that I did learn was if I knew that I would make the shakes or make the juice, that it was disgusting. And after a while, I knew that I started feeling better, but I had to buy these extra big straws, and I had to suck it down by putting the straw in the back of my throat. That way it skipped my tongue. Well, even then I could still taste it, and I really got tired of that quick. I was still losing the weight, but I decided in the end, if it didn't taste good and I didn't enjoy it, I just can't do this anymore. So I tried the juicing, and I felt like I was wasting a lot of nutrition by throwing a lot of that into the trash. So I'd buy the fruits and the veg, and I would end up throwing all this food away. And I just thought, I'll just stick to the NutriBullet. I really, really love using it every day. I have a banana smoothie, no matter if I put, different fruit in it. You can switch things up constantly. It's so easy for me. I know it's so easy to do. And with that, I also had trouble because I was so used to sitting down and eating. So for months it took me to snap myself out of it that, what am I going to do now that I'm not spending hours and hours eating? And one of the problems that I had was when I would go anywhere, I always wanted to go to McDonald's and get like 2 double cheeseburgers off the dollar menu. $2 for a huge snack. But I wanted to know what was in it. I realized, because of the videos that I have watched on the pink slime, that it definitely was not good for me. So I had to stop. And the cravings lasted probably 4 months, from December on. 4 months before I stopped thinking about it. I could leave the house and not think, oh, I've got to go buy a McDonald's and I have to swing in. So that took a lot of willpower. But I would tell myself, I don't want it. I would talk about it with my boyfriend, and he'd be like, let's just drive in and get you one. And I'm like, no. I would drive by and say to myself, it's gonna kill me. It's gonna kill me. Just keep going. You don't need it. And it worked. And I'm so grateful for that. But I now eat a lot of veg. I before did not eat vegetables very often. I knew they were good for me, but noodles are so cheap that I would use them to spread the meals, out longer. I eat a lot of salads. Stir fries are my favorite, with rice, plain whole white rice, brown rices. There are different kinds that I absolutely love. And one of my big things is noodles. Was I going to have to give up noodles? No. I found that I could get them in the health food store that was made out of whole food. I didn't have to worry about, well, the white rice, and am I going to get, sick from that? But you can actually fill up on it, and you don't have to worry about, well, maybe I shouldn't have eaten so much rice. And one of the biggest things is that I found that because I stopped eating all this processed food and eating only whole foods, like I could enjoy my apples every day. They tasted so much better. Everything tasted so much better fresh. After I got, almost like detox. And honestly, I didn't detox. And I don't really think that it's the greatest idea for people to do. That's my opinion. I think that if you start just eating better foods and making better choices and actually sitting down and making meals yourself, you're going to feel so much better. That is going to be your detox. I didn't want to, go on any medications or powders or any of that stuff. And one of my friends on Facebook actually tried this powder stuff, and she paid like $250 for this, and it was supposed to last so many days. And I thought, wow, for like a 2-week detox cleanse, you have to put all this powder? You don't even know what it is? I'm not trying that. I didn't want to go down that. What I like about the way I live now is being able to look at an apple and say, what is the ingredients? Oh, apple. Isn't that easier? If you start to actually look and read the labels and you don't know what the stuff is, you probably shouldn't be eating it. And that was the easiest way for me to tell whether I should have it or not. I love bananas. I love them. And a lot of my Facebook friends will say, well, I don't like them as much as you. And to me, I think, well, that really is too bad for them. I happen to be one of the lucky ones. I absolutely love banana. And when I make my smoothies, now that the weather is getting warm, you can make them a little thicker by freezing your bananas, which is amazing. The ones that you would normally throw away, instead of throwing them away, peel it, put it in a Ziploc baggie and put it in your freezer. Make a smoothie out of it. They make the best smoothies. All the flavor that's in the banana is just pops right in your mouth. So I do freeze a lot of my bananas. If I get an overabundance that happen to ripen up faster, I have a box in my bedroom that I keep all my bananas, and when I go to the store, I buy a lot. Like half of my groceries, if not more, is bananas. I love them, and they're high in fat burning than any other fruit that I've been able to find. And I don't buy dairies anymore. I don't buy dairy food. I don't buy cheese very rarely, and that's like if my boyfriend's gonna come over and have dinner, a stir fry, and then he wants to shred some cheese on top of it, something like that. But back to the smoothies. I love banana and coconut. Coconut milk and almond milk are my favorites. Most of the time, that's all I make for a shake. That's it. Bananas and the coconut or almond milk. It's amazing. And when I first started switching over, I got really sick a lot. Like every 2 to 3 weeks I was getting sick. I thought I was like food poisoned. I would get nauseous. I'd throw up. I get diarrhea. It was really bad, but I didn't know any other way of eating. And when I stopped all those symptoms and stopped getting nasal infections and stuff, I realized that I have an allergy to dairy. I just took a lot of pills to cover that up. And now that I don't eat any dairy at all, it's amazing. I can't eat cheese and milk and stuff like that. So I don't drink any of it, and I don't eat any of it. It's gone forever because I don't like having nasal infections every single month. And the migraines that I would get from the food that I was eating was unreal. And to live every day knowing that I'll always have a headache, but it's so much better because if you think about your worst headache, migraine you've ever had and how nauseous and ill you feel. And then to have that stop is amazing. So yeah, imagine your absolute worst migraine and how that made you feel. And living with that every single day. And now knowing that they're gone, I don't have them anymore. I know that it was because of the chemicals and the dairy that I was putting into my body. And my smoothies, everybody wants to know, yeah, you eat bananas, but what else? Well, honestly, I don't spend a lot of time eating anymore. So I don't feel like that's probably the reason why I don't ever get tired of it, is because it's like a snack now. It used to take me forever. And when I had like a bowl of cereal, I had a big bowl of cereal. I swear it was half the box I would eat easily with milk. And I don't do that anymore. I do get a lot of exercise now. I try to get out of the house as often as I can. I think that Wednesdays have actually turned into a me and Graham day. And it's just middle of the week, and Wednesdays seem to be our day to spend together, which is amazing. I love spending time with her. She's absolutely my best friend, one of my best friends. I tell her everything, and she tells me everything, and we just do a lot together. So what do I do now? I exercise now. I have to give credit to my doctor for that and the medication that I'm on. As soon as I was able to get up and actually walk and climb the stairs, I still have trouble. I look like a gorilla getting up the stairs every day, but I can do it now, and I almost would have to drag myself up them before. So now that I'm up and walking, I'm almost at a run now. I really love, getting out of the house and getting exercise and getting myself motivated and eating very good for myself. So we will be making lots of videos on the type of foods that I eat and Michael eats. He tends to eat a lot more healthier now to himself, and my son, he has actually lost a lot of weight. He was quite chubby, and he's no longer obese. My daughter, she's older, and she's out on her own, so we'll see how that goes. Make a video about that maybe. But please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.